Welcome. Today an energy update for the upcoming new moon on January the 11th. And above all, we have a very special energy day that stands out. And that is January the 12th, 2024. But more on that in a moment. And a warm welcome to you. And if you would like to receive a weekly energy update, sign up for my free newsletter where I share every Sunday an update on the current energies. And you find the link below this video. And I have a free live workshop where you can learn how to read a horoscope, what the planets, the houses and the zodiac signs mean. And if you want to learn more about Vedic astrology, sign up for this free workshop on Saturday, January the 20th. And the link is also below this video. But now let's start. What awaits us, astrological and energetical, in the next 2 weeks? The year has started with a bang, you could say. We had the strongest solar eruption in the current 11-year solar cycle on January the 1st. And we had also a change of direction of planet Jupiter. And Jupiter and the Sun, they are deeply connected. And so this was the strongest solar eruption for the last years. And at the same day, we also had a strong earthquake happened in Japan. We currently have important planets in the sign of Sagittarius. And this is very much about finding the truth. A lot of fire energies. And you may have noticed that Jeffrey Epstein list was published. Jeffrey Epstein, a US multimillionaire, was accused to sex scandals with minors. And now the list has been made public of his contacts, and especially celebrities and famous rich people he had on this list. And with these energies of a very strong retrograde Mercury in Sagittarius and the aspect of Jupiter, the wise one, and also planet Mars, who is playing a part in this energy cocktail. And so this is very much about uncovering the truth. And here in Germany, we have the farmers' protests. These also shows how important it is now at this time to find justice. And also in the sign of Sagittarius, it is all about regulations, rules and laws. And Mars and Mercury in the sign of Sagittarius, and they are also connected to the lunar mansion Mula. And Mula is very much about rebellion, to not longer accept the old laws and regulations, because Mula is about destruction and also rebuilding. And Mula brings the seed into the earth, and that is what the farmers are also doing. And with their demonstration right now, they are showing us all how important it is to stand up for our rights, but in a good manner, not in wanting to destruct those old regulations. It is more about standing for your own inner truth from the place of peace. And since Jupiter has also its aspect on the sign of Sagittarius, this also expands those energies of finding the truth, but also the rebellion energies. But it also means that things will end well. with the blessing of Jupiter. Mercury, the planet Mercury, is still now in Gandanta. This is a special energy point, and this brings also a lot of problems in travel and transportation. And we also had the explosion on landing of a Japanese airplane. It is a time of fiery energies. But before I get on January the 12th, the special energies, we will take a look on the new moon, which takes place on January the 11th. It is the first new moon of the new year, and it takes place on the 11th, which is a master number. And the 1/11/2024, if you sum it all up, it results in the number 11. It is very strong connected with the energy of the sun. And this new moon takes place at 26 degrees in the sign of Sagittarius, in the lunar mansion Purva Ashada, which is associated with planet Venus. And Venus strives for balance. It is the planet to correct something that is out of balance. And here is exactly the topic of finding the truth. And this is where the Epstein list comes into the public eye. It's going to be a special year. People are awakening like never before. And we are experiencing these energies very strongly with the new moon. It is connected to social reforms that help humanity to free itself from restriction. Above all, it is to understand who you are and that you have the power, which is also the energy of the year number 8. You have the power that you can change everything in your life. And you should understand more and more not to give away your power by believing too much that you are powerless and that you are a victim of the outer circumstances. Because the world always shows us that we cannot change the outer circumstances, but that is not true. And something that most people here on earth do not yet really understand is that they have a great creative potential in them and that they can change far more than they always think. The sun and moon are exactly at 90 degrees angle to the lunar nodes at the new moon, which also expresses once again how important these energies are for the fate of humanity. But let's take a look now why January the 12th is so special. Actually, it was only by chance that I took a closer look at this day, due to the demand from you what the seemingly extreme weather phenomena that were announced for the period of the 14th to 17th of January, what this mean. And so I looked more deeply to the astrological constellations, and I noticed January the 12th. Why? On this day, the planets Venus, Mercury, the Sun, Mars and Moon form a very special connection. And the planet Jupiter is at 11 degrees in the sign of Aries. And Jupiter's energy is still very strong. And Jupiter changed direction a few days ago, on the last day of 2023, exactly at this 11-degree mark. Mars is on the same day, on January the 12th, at 11 degrees, in the sign of Sagittarius. and both are in each other house, which leads to an energetic exchange. Both are in the lunar mansion of Ketu. Who is Ketu? Ketu is the lower lunar node, and this connects the energies of the lunar mansions of Ketu with the planet Ketu. And Ketu is currently at 26 degrees in the sign of Virgo, which, by the way, is the degree marker of the last solar eclipse, which also energetically triggered the terrorist attack on Israel. The interesting thing is, if you look at the declination on that day, and what is the declination? We have longitudes, which we find in the horoscope in the form of the degrees you see on your horoscope. But we also have the lines of latitude, and planets can meet not only from the longitudes, they also can meet together from the lines of latitude. And I'm going to blend this here in. And if planets have the same number of degrees, it means it connects their energies. And Sun and Mercury and Venus are at 21 degrees. And Mars and Moon are at 23 degrees. What could that mean? It makes this day a high energy day. And on days like this, something big can happen that we do not expect. Or this day can also be the trigger for something bigger, which then shows up afterwards. And it is very difficult to predict it before in detail. The energetic connection of Mars with Ketu and intensification of Jupiter brings especially two topics very strongly into the center. Unfortunately, the first is terrorist actions, which are mainly connected with racism and religious fanaticism, dogmas and beliefs. And the second topic is the topic of disease and especially of a virus. Because Ketu sits in the house of health, Virgo, and Ketu is connected to the topic of a virus. And also a third possibility of those special energies is also the possibility of an earthquake or even an unexpected natural event, which can discharge those heavy tensions of those planets. And this is what I see energetically for January the 12th. And this day really stands out. I perceive the energies of the new year very differently than the last year. There's a lot of positive energy in the field. It is about more justice. It is about the truth and the new human consciousness, which is awakening more and more. There is no need for fear. The process in which we find ourselves is a process of awakening that cannot be stopped. And it is good when things come to light and energetic corrections happen. And so in this sense, I wish you all the best for this special time. And I love you. Namaste.